Not yet.
I told you was going live.
Yeah, we live.
They can't see us.
No, I'm trying to camera.
Third Rico?
I've been telling y'all about this sale.
Nah, we can leave more for a little bit. So somebody come. You'll see it's like a zero there when somebody come up in the joint.
With
The sale is going
Chat room right here.
with a lighter.
What?
With a lighter.
Oh,
Telling y'all about
I just bought a new one too.
We got a sale. I got a new product.
Damn, what the?
Yeah, I don't know.
Got a new product.
Them niggas ain't had no regular. You know they ain't got no 50-cent lighters.
All right.
I went there looking for a lighter, which is all extravagant. I'm like, damn.
We got a brand new product, guys. Hold on. Let me show y'all the new product we got. Now, the product goes on sale officially August 1st, but tonight you can get the promo pack for sale. Okay? Then I got something that we eat. I got this right here. I'm working on it. We got some pepper spray.
Oh, that's what it is, pepper spray?
Pepper spray.
What's that?
Black owned pepper spray. Right here.
Oh, me?
We got black owned pepper spray called Old Goon Juice. Working on this for a minute, y'all. This is black owned pepper spray. Family, we need this big time. We need this Old Goon Juice. That's the name of the pepper spray. Old Goon Juice. After praying, start spraying. Family,
I can't have pepper spray. I spray the shit out of a white person. I'm sorry, what's it? Are you trying to call the police on me? Trying to kill? That's an assassination attempt to me.
That brother might have been able to get away from the damn white person. You got brothers and sisters out here now running trees. If you get some Old Goon juice in your pocket, that will port some of that. Let me tell you, this shit right here is hella serious too. This Old Goon juice is not a damn joke. Okay? This Old Goon juice is not a joke. A little bit of this will tear your ass up. And again, only use it for defense purposes. Nice packaging, the whole thing. We've been working on this for a minute.
Working on pepper spray for niggas? You know what?
And we got the Old Goon spirit on it too. With the Old Goon Bebe, we got the spirit of Old Goon.
Somebody in there.
Just in case you can't. You Goon juice. Take that Old Goon juice with you.
I'll play some of that shit later. But I forgot what we was talking about earlier.
Accepting gay black men.
I know creating it, except
Creating and accepting.
but now being mad that
that the culture of black men is weak and not strong and not protected. But if you create this environment and you incentivize this environment,
how can you expect anything to be changed?
Change
There's
or
no
be
protection in that, bro. There's no. You can't create somebody who is by definition. You know what I'm saying? By definition, like submissive. You really gotta be submissive. Bend over and let somebody do some things to you.
You know, people will hear this and say, you guys are trans. But you can't ask for something.
Your creation being better than you. Or taking on what you thought you were deserving.
If you want people to protect the community or whatever you feel like you want,
You gotta be men. You can't be boys.
you can't ask for a man that's a woman to do it. That's backwards. Or maybe you can, and you haven't asked them.
I mean, there's some strong
Strong
training
gays.
out here, but them niggas ain't at the front line.
if they want to be at the front line, like
They ain't put their lace front in a ponytail and cock back the AK-47 in their goddamn dress.
They want to be submissive. They want to be protected.
Exactly.
So you can't ask them. You can't get mad when you take away the protectors and then there's no protection.
Out of all the cultures of people being gay or transsexual, the most flamboyant two, number one, black. The second one's Spanish people. Nobody else is flamboyant with their homosexuality. And what do you find these conquered people?
You'll find some Spanish males who are Mexican. You'll find some, even some whites. I've seen whites who are.
No, you'll find them, but they're not flamboyant.
Yeah, it's not a majority.
Like when you see a gay nigga, you know what I mean? Like damn, like you acting like a bitch out here in these streets, your hands swinging. Like they act more feminine than the women that should be acting feminine do, and they act like a hood rat version of it. It's just like, shit is disgusting, but it's accepted in our community. These men are accepted. Now, being gay is whatever, but being like just a character, that needs to be put in check, bro. Because they don't do the shit at the right time. You ain't doing the shit when you know, on the block or in your crib. You know, you're doing this shit on the fucking news. You're doing this shit in movies, and like this is you out in the street in public. You go to some shit, company, corporate malfunction. You acting like this big flamboyant girl, and you're not. That shit is. I mean, I understand. Tariq was talking about Little Richie and how he became that way because he wasn't a male. He wasn't threatening the white man. They thought, yeah, that's why he liked them.
Pop go to Dubai.
The white man, yeah. His persona's like that because he wasn't threatening during his times. I mean, he's around Sam Cooke and the rest of these niggas. Niggas ain't. These is men. Niggas is getting pussy.
Yeah.
You look at other motherfuckers who got through the path. No love lost for Richard Pryor. He was born in that Martin dude. The motherfucker he did see no evil, we hear no evil. The Jewish dude. Yeah. Oh, they go Big J. What up, Big J? That's the black that I love you listen to earlier. I can't hear him now. What is he saying?
It says, I wish black men would stop with the submission culture.
Nah, fuck that shit. Fuck that, Big J, nigga. If you want a bitch that is going to be masculine in your relationship, that's something that you got to deal with. I don't want that. I don't need any more masculinity in my house besides me and my son.
What does he mean by that?
So there's an ongoing conversation online, right, of men saying that, you know, black women are not as submissive. They're just not submissive. That's that caricatures. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you look at biblical women, or you look at the women in the church, their submission, they're submissive. They still fight back. They still talk shit. But with other shit, they can't lead. Most women in the church. For the most
part, is he saying that we are saying that?
He's saying that men are complaining about women not being submissive or not. But you know what? They complain about not being married. So, nigga, pick it, motherfucking devil. You ain't submissive. You ain't married.
But
I don't need no woman to be. No.
I don't have a problem with a woman leading either. But this is what I'm saying. This
women. I don't have no accountability. We get blame put on men that you say were never around. Black men weren't here. These niggas are absentees. But now we have this dysfunctional community. Well, if black men were not in the community, who built it?
He said that's not the point. Well, listen, this is what I'm saying. I have no problem with a woman not being submissive. I have no problem with a woman leading or whatever. But when you lead, have to be accountable. That's what you're saying, right? So if you want to lead, but be accountable in your lead. Don't fail and then say, I didn't have a black man supporting me, or I didn't have somebody supporting me, or I didn't, whatever the complaint is. Because we know through history, black men has been the leaders in our households. And whenever they failed, they never said, I don't have a black woman behind me. They just failed and tried to get better. So if you're gonna lead, be accountable about your lead. I don't have a problem. I'm not afraid of a woman who's a leader, who's strong. I actually like women like that. Like I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with a woman who's submissive. Like if a woman says to me, I want you to lead, I'm like, all right, let's roll. But if a woman says, I want to lead with you, I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with being unaccountable for any actions that
and
that's all I have a problem with.
When you find a lot of these people, a lot of that gender in leadership roles, when shit hits the fan, they're not accountable for it.
Nobody's accountable. That's the biggest problem.
But with us, the buck stops here, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I come in and be like, listen.
That's the problem. Nobody's accountable.
I'm not running around talking about I need some bitch to wash my feet and be on her goddamn hands and knees. No, we all go to work, man. We all gotta get it popping. But I'm not coming. Simply put, I'm not coming home to fight you like I gotta fight these white dudes at my job. And if that's the situation you're gonna put me in, I'm not gonna be in the household with you. Fuck it, I'm going. We drop dead too fast, too quick, and too easy for us to be sitting in here arguing with motherfuckers who live to 80, 90, do whatever the hell they want, and at the end of the day, it's gonna be their house anyway. So I'll tell you what, while I'm alive, it's my house. When I die, it's yours. You can talk that, this my house shit all you want when I'm dead. But you ain't gonna have the power. And that's what men need to, you just don't give them the fucking power. I tell them, you gotta tell the young dudes, like, yo, bro, don't get married early, don't have kids early, man. Wrap that shit up, get your money. When a woman come to you, you be like, listen, how much you make? I make 100. Listen, if you ain't making 80, I don't want to be with you. Because I don't need your financial burdens sucking the life out of me. You want to be strong and independent? Well, bring something to the table. And at this point, it's bring something to the table. But men got to be in a position to be like, what are you bringing to the table? And if you're not in that position, then you can't sit there and ask.
Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like black men and black women need to be together?
Actually, I think American black men and American black women need to begin to date about culture. What am I saying? I'm saying we need to date Aboriginal Australians, we need Brazilians and shit. Because they come from different cultures. They don't come from Blackistan as David described it. They don't come from this American dysfunctional culture. They don't come from these first, second, and third wave feminism ideologies. They don't come from these colleges where these white women beat this feminist ideology into it. And they adhered to it while the white women taught you and went home and was submissive to her husband. They taught you to be against your man. They go home and they vote with Trump with their fucking man. I think we need to embrace and understand other black cultures that way we can come back and respect ours for the good parts. Because right now we don't respect any part of our shit.
Black women and black men don't need to be in a dysfunctional system. The problem is not us, it's the system that we're in. And I know people would say, oh, you can't blame the system. I'm not blaming it. It's reality.
You can blame the system.
It's reality.
It's our culture.
It's our culture. And it's a dysfunctional culture. And then we're trying to have babies and be married and live together in this culture. So we need to separate. And we need to start becoming more friends than lovers than anything. And things like that.
Oh yeah, if I date now, we gotta be friends.
We gotta be friends first. One of the main reasons why black women and black men don't work is being together.
Because culture culture
Society tells you
that's too long.
Not knowing
How to work inside
that system. It is a system. You can sit here and try to deny it, but if you know how to work the system, you'll be all right.
You going to marry on some financial shit?
If you with somebody who doesn't know there's a game being played within our own game, then it's going to be turbulence through the whole time. Especially if one person knows male or female, and the other one don't. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than a pastor trying to date a crackhead. It ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like male or female. If the female's a pastor and the male's a crack, it ain't gonna work. You gotta have somebody that's smoking crack with you or in the church with you. You can't have, you know what I'm saying? So if I know the game and I know the system, but my wife don't, it's gonna be very hard for us to operate because I'm gonna be operating on a different level of consciousness than she.
Basically, date inside your realm of expertise.
Exactly. And then a date inside of your expectations to a man. I believe when you come to a table, when you trying to become in a relationship, when you come to the table, you say, "Yo, this is what I expect from my wife if we get married." It's nothing wrong with that. With saying that on the first date, if you talking, and then say that the female should say, "Hey, this is what I expect from my husband."
That's
if
bro.
If you don't agree to what the expectations is, then you get up off the table and say, "Yo, listen, it was a nice dinner," and you move the fuck on. But if you agree, and then within your agreement, you can say, "Well, I agree with that, but listen, this, that, and the third," and they say, "Well, okay, I can live with that." Then y'all can keep forward. But your expectations, because I know for me, being married, my wife would say things to me like, "I'll get up and cook for you in the middle of the night, but I don't want you to expect me to do it."
Yeah.
And that's weird. I'm like, but I'm like, but you're my wife, right? So now I'm confused on my expectations of what I want in a wife. She's confused on, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that creates division. So come to the table with your expectations. Don't change. I'm never gonna tell a woman to change her expectations. But if you can't find a man that live up to your expectations, you have to take that consequence too. You can't be mad and saying ain't no good men out here because every time I come to the table with my expectations, no, those are your expectations. I'm not telling you to lower them, but if I tell you I can't meet them, you can't get mad at me neither.
That's why I told you earlier, there's no way you damn as good, because even if whatever say this don't work out, or you know what I mean, whatever happens, right? You now, when you sit there and have a conversation, you're going to date or whatever it is.
I'm going into
first
with
off,
that experience.
First off, you're gonna sit down and be like, listen, this is what it is. This is what I've been through. This is what I expect. You know what I mean? Right. I'm here. I want to know what your expectations are. What are your goals, your dreams? What do you see in 5 years? Bro, when I met the French girl, first we had I met her on Tinder. Boom. So we texted, whatever. So one night, she just hit me like, I want to FaceTime. I'm like, I don't care. Shorty FaceTime even no makeup on. It wasn't bothering me. I preferred it. And she's still pretty.
Yeah.
So I was good. So we went out. We went to, I don't know if you've been to South Fuegos. Yeah. Now we went to Bronx BBQs. You've been there. It's in the Bronx. Well, you've been there with us. So we in there talking. Bro, date. I was on mind frame of, I know what I want. I ain't got time to waste. What's good? This is the situation. This is the things at hand. To this day, right now, I can still get with her, bro. And I just had another baby. What up, Sherry? I just had another baby, bro. I'm on my way to France. This has been completed. You know why we didn't? Because she had expectations.
She had expectations.
The expectations and the criteria.
What was her expectation in the country?
Divorce.
Oh, she wanted you to get a divorce.
Because we would have been married by this time.
And you didn't want to get divorced?
It's not, bro, I got papers.
Okay, but you're white. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's just a matter of, damn, ain't got no shit.
What?
No fluid?
What you mean?
For that. that button I'm missing? Oh no, yes you do. Ah, see. So you know I don't know nothing about these new cars. Old school. Give me some shit. I gotta stick my hand out the front and wipe it like this. That's that old school shit. It's that old New Yorker pop had back in the days, nigga. Remember we broke down coming from fucking Pennsylvania with that shit?
Yeah, wow.
Oh man, that shit. That was that green shit.
Yeah, it was wild.
And then that nigga had the other. Remember the other green shit got shot up?
Yeah, come back from the.
Yeah, Pops had some wild shit. You don't remember the Escort, nigga. That's when I was a kid. He took me back and forth. That nigga had a Ford Escort, a little two-door shit. Hatchback. That nigga back windows bust out. Probably fucking with these crazy bitches again. Nigga had the back, the back window with plastic on it. You ever been in a car with plastic on the window? That's the loudest, annoyingest sound you ever heard in your life. Oh, man, I used to be the back of the car laid out. The nigga had no back seats. Pops was hood as a motherfucker. Those are the days. But, you know, there's levels of expectations. We had a chance to look at mistakes. So we probably didn't make the same ones that Pop made. But not to say we didn't make our own mistakes. I know I got mistakes like a motherfucker in my building. Things could have did better, things I probably shouldn't have did at all, things that I should have did when I was supposed to do. Shit that you end up with regrets for.
And we get into things, we get into a growth of adult things too early, right? You know what I mean? We get in and we learning on the fly. But you know it's tricky because if you like, well, I'm wait till I'm 30 and then you don't have experience and then it's not gonna work. But you need so it's like a give and a take. It's like, yo, look, I'm gonna get my experience by the time I'm 30 and I'm gonna be a better person. But then you know what I'm saying, I'm 30 and I don't have no experience and then I'm gonna fall for anything because I don't know the game.
You usually gullible, and by that time these women are freaking savages.
You know what I'm
By 30 they savages, so you gotta date.
So you gotta date.
You gotta be on your
But it needs one of the biggest problems is there's not a group of women in every community who have been through something. There's not a group of men who has been in every community has been through something that talks. And they don't look at the young people and say, wait up, come here, let me talk to you for a second. Let us group of women, let us group of men who have went through trauma tell you what's gonna happen. And then you're forcing them. Like, if a community is together, you're forcing the young ones to listen. It's like, you know, it's a tradition. Nobody breaks tradition easy. So if it's a tradition, most people, it's normal. It's like, oh, yeah, we go there to talk about our feelings. That's been going on since I was 5. So it's nothing new. And it never got out to the community what was going through my mind or what was going on in my household. So we don't have those kind of things that we need in this system, in this society. We need people, groups of women and groups of men who can show us the way. But you can't have that because a lot of times the older group now in our communities, the older group of women and the older group of men,
they're jealous.
They jealous and they compete with the young people when not realizing, you know, this is the future. You know, and like I told you before, I'm like, yo, y'all the future, bro. I'm gonna be y'all consultant, whatever y'all need. I'm not gonna try to run against y'all. Y'all need to run. Y'all have the culture. Y'all know the culture.
While this shit is functioning and destabilized, you got to time put instructions. And it's like, yo, some of the black elders are putting in this work right now for the kids so that they got a clean slate to make this move. But I mean, you know, motherfuckers is hard-headed, man. And being indoctrinated for fucking, I don't know how many, 12 fucking seasons of school, that shit is crazy. It might be better for black kids now that they home. But a lot of these motherfuckers ain't even equipped to teach their children, let alone the regular curriculum, the extra shit that they need to know. Like, he got a poster in his house right now, George Washington crossing the Delaware. The only reason the poster's in the house because it's a black man at the front of the boat. Other than that, that shit wouldn't be there. I want him to recognize, hey, the only person wearing gold and fine linens in this picture is the black man at the front of the boat. The rest of them is wearing wood and trash cloth. down, you know. But you gotta want to teach people that history. And motherfuckers gotta be willing to understand and accept it.
It's a lot, man.
You got people to this day. You remember Pastor Man and his stupid ass? Black man, no black man have built nothing. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
But that's what I'm saying. Why would you pay attention to somebody like that?
I mean, I ain't paying attention to it now. You said that shit years ago. Bro. It's like, are you fucking that
even when he say that, I'm like, alright, whatever. Something wrong with them, bro. They retarded. Most of these people, something is wrong with these people. They have trauma. They have black people have treated them badly from when they was 5. It's people who still deal with trauma. Talk about when I was little, they used to call me ugly.
Oh yeah,
like that shit is wild, bro.
Black man treat me right, so now
and you can't
as a kid.
You can't get mad at that though. Like we can't get mad at that's somebody's trauma. We can't get mad at what some that's traumatized you. That traumatized.
There's a girl on the line.
I will apologize to women.
I have.
If women feel, even if I didn't do it, I would be like, yo, that was wrong. We was wrong, but I got teased about stuff too.
You a better person than me, because I told her, she pretty now. I told her, listen, when you was younger, you was ugly and you was annoying the fuck out of me. So I treated you like I treated you. Now you're gorgeous, you're a woman, and you understand what we was kids and doing. We fucking kids, bro. We kids. Kids don't got no filter sometimes. You show them kids some shit. Oh my God,
none of my trauma comes from when I was a kid being teased. None of it. None of it comes from it. Like, cause I'm like, yeah, that comes with the territory. And I was telling my nieces that they was like, they didn't want some of the cousins coming over because they talk. I'm like, that happens. Y'all,
because they dark and beautiful.
But I said, y'all are living in a conscious society of colorism. I said, growing up, that was normal for us to call a girl black and ugly. And I'm not saying it's wrong or right, but I'm saying it was never a thing. I'm like, I was called names. I had big eyes. Yeah, I had big eyes or whatever the case may be. I was called names, but it didn't traumatize me to the point. And I'm not, some people are traumatized by that, which is fine. I understand it. But whatever your trauma is, you can never hold against somebody else. My trauma shouldn't affect.
My GPS not on. You know what? Plug your phone in. Yeah, I mean, we're still on 85. Nigga, we good. We headed south on 85. You know where you live. I just be driving. Nigga. When we wake up, we be in Atlanta. Nigga, you passed North Carolina. My fault. I was hitting it. There's folks in the chat. What's up, 6 people? Don't lurk. Say something. Y'all hear the conversation? I'm here with my brother right now. We driving. Let me see. Can I tell you? They ain't gonna see shit with the camera on. I had to turn the light on or something. Let me see. Last time I said 247.
It's an hour and 43.
It's the price at 3 o'clock now.
No.
They don't say 3 o'clock?
Not 2:48.
Damn. There we go. We back. Monica's not New York. Sorry, y'all. We in the north. North Carolina. No, we in Virginia still, right? Yeah. So signal might be dropping every now and then. No, we just talking though. We in the car. Actually, the microphone is right here. Let me see how it looks. All right, you can still see the chat. God, that's just. Show you guys supercharging this motherfucker. I wouldn't know. You said what? You wouldn't know. Nah, it would have said something. No, actually, it wouldn't know. But that shit, you heard that shit weaning?
And I don't even think you on sport mode.
Oh, this is sport mode in this motherfucker? Nigga, don't do it. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. Nah, saying that. We do it tomorrow in the daytime. Not right now, nigga. I was just doing 90. I had to slow down. Chill. This is a beast.
Yeah,
right
it's
here.
a 55, bro.
I know. So I was like, look, let me chill. You said it's a 55. And I seen 70.
Son, it's 55. Really.
Oh, I seen the 70, son.
Who's
What
that?
the fuck is that?
Is that
Concord Rescue. Nah, them
Oh.
niggas gonna save some dogs or some shit.
Concord dogs.
Yeah, them niggas gonna be saying shit. You wide awake, Mo? Yeah, this typically Hudson. Whoa, you must have went to sleep early. I know you got work in the morning. I got work in the morning too. So yeah, say speed limit 70. I wasn't.
enough, you just like, man, listen.
I didn't go to church. Let me pray. Let me read my Bible.
Exactly. I ain't with nothing you used to deal with. Don't get it twisted. It's mad people in the church that bring drama. Don't get it twisted. But I see older people who just go to church. They come home and they don't do
They
that.
don't even stress that shit.
They don't even stress it. They just go to church. It's
Put on their
you want
big
peace.
action.
They want some kind of say. They want to say. They want to be safe. I want to be safe. That's what that is. That's what this life is about. When you start getting older, it's a what's the name on Kendrick Lamar's? I believe it's To Pimp a Butterfly. He has a song, I think it's called Immortal, with Tupac. And in the song, he's asking questions and he's having like a skit with Tupac talking. And then one of the questions too, he's asking Tupac says, "Listen, you know, I feel like we need to get a lot of young people, like 15-year-olds, you know what I mean, to get involved with the struggle and the fight and the war, whatever the case may be." He said, because when you get 30-year-olds, you don't find a lot of 30-year-olds trying to go to war because they're already broken down. And it's like, yo, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when I was 15, nigga, if a nigga told me to go slap this cop, I would have done it. Like, I felt like nothing could stop me. Now, I'm just like, man.
Yeah, 15, jumping out of windows.
I'm not doing that shit no more. Remember you was on the roof?
You
Remember that South? You was on the roof. I'm not doing no shit. I'm not getting on the fucking roof right now. Hell no. I'm not doing
nigga,
no
my
wild
knees
shit.
wrapped up right now. You see, I done switch sneakers. My ankles is hurting, nigga. So my
I'm not
ankles
doing it no more. It's like, nah. But when I was 12, 15, oh, fuck that. I never forget. Tito, my mother boyfriend at the time, Tito wanted, he found out that he was cheating on my mother. So I'm laying on the couch sleep. He wakes me up. I'm like, yo, we gonna jump Mike because he cheating on mommy. I'm like 12, 13. My nigga, I ain't even hesitate. I was like, all right,
let's go.
Wake me up when you ready. That's what I said. Now I'm like, bro, what? I'm like,
Tell mommy kick the
nigga out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna kill him. Now I know my power. I'm gonna kill him. I'm not gonna do no shit like that. When I was 12, 15, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, what? All right, just wake me up when you ready. I was gonna whoop his ass. I'm gonna beat the shit out this nigga. Like 12, about to beat the shit out this nigga. We gonna jump him. I'm gonna get mine. Hey, nigga, I fight. That's what I do. So
I be telling the guy, I say, yeah.
worry about nothing. That's first. That's something we don't never talk about with Pop.
Oh, they hate the baby. Right?
He's the baby. He's never had to worry about nothing. You feel me? He don't know what position we're in right now. He wouldn't understand it.
Nigga, the baby that had the first child, I ain't got about it.
That Nana took care of.
Facts.
And granddaddy.
They took me everywhere, bro.
Everywhere. So
Gotta been all kind of shit. Sesame playing.
he don't know this position we're in right now. You've been in and now I'm in. He don't know the position. He wouldn't understand it. So the advice he gonna give us is like,
And his brothers is still here.
his brothers are still here.
He had, and that shit went traditional for him. You know, moms and pops was going. Now it's brothers and everybody else. Aunties and all them. But I mean, we got Aunt Mary left.
That's it.
Outside that, I don't know what they talking about. What up, Jada?
Jada, man.
Tell you, Jada funny dude. That nigga Jada said, "Don't have sex with women." I said, "I ain't fucking with you, Jada."
What?
Yeah, I'll tell you about that another time.
Sex with women?
YouTube is interesting. You know, it's a group of men called MGTOW, men going their own way. But then there's a group of people called
What does that
incels.
mean?
I don't know what that means. I just hope they ain't. I hope it means go left or right hand, and not into butt cheeks or some shit. Yeah, but they don't want. Yeah, men go their own way. Basically, they don't want to be inside these relationships with these crazy ass women, like we know they are. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I want to be alone. I'm living alone now. I don't want to be alone. It's good. I like being alone. I need my space, but I would like to have company. But I would prefer us being a 2-story home, and you can have it upstairs, and I can have it downstairs, and in the middle we can meet sometime. You know, we do it on the staircase. I don't give a fuck. But every now and then, you know, being alone ain't always cracked up to me. So I was locked in the house for 2 to 3 months.
It ain't. Get depressed.
Yeah, you need companionship.
You do.
I mean, I know if I didn't have this YouTube shit, nigga.
Yeah. You do.
I'd have been in there bugging. So.
You definitely need compassion and companionship, and you need love. You need those things.
Friends and shit.
You want you know what you need. You know what you want. You want somebody just to care. Just to care. Like I just want you to care. Like
and you can't trust people these days.
And you can't trust them.
Everybody got a motive.
Everybody has a motive.
I don't got an agenda. I wish I did, because I'd probably be paid. I'd probably be doing more. But I don't got a Grammy heart like that.
You just want somebody to care without trying to take advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? Period.
Instruction manual for life. You know that big ass picture of the book? You got that white boy with this jacket on, and he opening that book. That shit like 4 feet high. Book of women? Nah, nigga, that's a book of how to deal with life and women.
I'm gonna tell you how to deal with life a little bit.
First chapter.
Get your shit a lot of weed, but controllable. Well, I can't say that because you smoke a lot of weed since you've been.
I've been smoking since I had.
Yeah, you still deal with a lot of shit. So well,
you know what smoking does for me? And you know what smoking does for me? Fuck it. I'll deal with this shit later.
Yeah.
You know what? Right now I ain't even in the mood. Cause sometimes if I wasn't high right now, you already know I'll flip. So I tell you what, I'd rather be in a state of calm, nigga, instead of nigga that's gonna rip your head off. Cause people don't like when I go off, I go the fuck off. Son. And then when I'm done, I'm done. I don't want to talk to you after that. I'm good. My energy's burnt out. I gave you what you wanted. Fuckers push, and they get that result. And then you the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy. I don't mind being a bad guy. Get these consequences. Bro. What you think about this Will and Jada shit, son?
Ooh, listen, at first I didn't listen to it because I don't listen.
No,
I don't listen to internet shit. Like I don't like shit that people feel like they just can comment on. But, you know, they married and they put their business in the streets.
They did.
Whatever. So people can't comment on it. But I feel like, listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about love. And when you with somebody that long, right? You will be surprised of the shit
You'll put up with.
you'll put up with and you accept when you in love with somebody that long. If you never been in love and you never been with somebody for over 10 plus years consistently,
And you won't
you
understand.
can't comment, bro, because I'm not saying I would want somebody to have sex with my wife. And I know my wife wouldn't want somebody to have sex with me. But when I first initially heard that, I'm like, yo, y'all really don't understand love, because eventually it's not about sex anymore with that person. Eventually, if you really with somebody, eventually, if sex dies and your relationship dies, your relationship was about sex. But when sex dies and your relationship still is fun and you're happy and y'all still come home to each other, that's a real relationship. That's real love. So when I heard it, I was just like, well, I'm not saying I want somebody to have sex with my partner, but I have had that feeling before. Like, yo, if she decided to date somebody, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, yo, I understand. Do you? We can just come back home and we can, you know what I'm saying? Do what we doing. Not saying I'm gonna have sex, but we just living our life. But I wouldn't be mad if you was talking. I have had that feeling. I'm not saying if it happened, I will still be okay with it. But I've had that feeling before. So when it happened, I was like, I understand. And then I heard that they were separated at the moment. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's the snippet I heard of it. And I'm like, well, that's not really. That's their, again. When you come to the table, you have your expectations. That's their relationship. So if Will and Jada allow the dude to get into, you know what I'm saying,
like
relationship like that, then that's between them. They got to deal with it. I don't feel like they have to tell the world their business. Much respect for LeBron James' wife. You won't never hear no funny shit come out of her mouth. She don't move like that because it's not about her. She understands her position, like, and not in a negative way, but whatever I do or say, it's gonna come back on my man. He gonna have to wear it. He already in this world fighting to survive. Why would I throw something else on his shoulder? Again, it goes back to a woman not knowing that she's in the system. If you don't know that you're in the system, you will make moves like that. You will do shit like that, like what she did. But you will never hear LeBron James' wife say some shit like that because she know we in the system. My man already got the world on his shoulders.
Nigga, I don't remember Juanita Jordan saying no shit like that.
Never. I never even heard
to
her
this
speak.
day, nigga.
Never even heard her speak.
And Michael done what? Wouldn't got him a white wife and all that shit?
She cute.
Whatever.
2 twins.
She
But you never
Juanita
heard her
still
write
ain't
a
saying
book.
shit.
She still ain't saying
no book, no, she shut the fuck up.
Yeah, man. You know, it's attention, man. It's attention.
Now, there is a way. The shoe was on the other foot. I don't know if you know about B. Smith.
B. Smith, who's that?
She was like a cook or something. She wrote a book.
No.
She was a real pivotal black woman back in the days. Now, all these black women champion her because she's a successful entrepreneur. I'd like to remind her that she really didn't do shit for too many black people back in the days, and all those restaurants were in white areas and white neighborhoods, and she catered and had nothing but white friends. Okay. So her husband now, she had what Nana had? Did you lose your mind? Shit.
Autism. Not autism, dementia.
Yeah, she had that shit, and she was passing through, getting old and sickly. So I guess they had like a caretaker or a house friend, some white lady that was in and out the house type shit. So the husband ended up getting with her, and they taking care of B. Smith. I guess they take care of B. Smith and B. Smith house as they're putting the story, and he's dating this white woman while she's in dementia and dying. Before she got to that state, we don't know what she said to her husband. Honey, live your life. Do not sit here in depression during my state. If you're gonna take care of me until I go, take care of me until I go. But do live your life. The French one told me, listen, you a man. I know you got needs to fulfill, and I know how you are. She not worried about that shit. Not intimidated by other women. She just bugged out. But yeah, I get mad because they don't get that black dude credit for helping B. Smith get to where she was. This nigga's executive producing and helping her with books and managing shit around it. It's not like this nigga was some dusty nigga living on the couch playing PlayStation while she was out, managing some successful multi-billion-dollar shit. The nigga was working. The nigga was not like a non-successful person. They want to throw him under the bus. If he would have dated a black woman, what they would have said, what would have been said? Like, you don't know what the arrangement is. You don't know.
You really don't.
Especially with dementia, like, you gone at that point. You don't even know who you are. That by the time you go, you do not know who you are. So what did B. Smith lose? She's living in a fantasy world by the time she passed. She's probably a 2-year-old in mind. Colors, flowers, and cherry pops. All the money in the world she done made. She couldn't enjoy that shit at her death. She know what the fuck it was when she died. But guess who was there? Her fucking husband. He might have had a little white girlfriend. Motherfucker stuck there until she passed. A woman would have did the same shit, stuck there until he passed, had a side and all that.
I don't like commenting on other people's relationships because you don't know the ins and
you don't know the ins and outs. You don't know the situation, stipulation.
You don't know. I don't like commenting on other people's relationships because you don't know my relationship, so you can't comment. You don't know what we've been through. You don't know, what I mean, what I have accepted. You don't know what my wife has accepted. So I never comment on somebody else's marriage. It's not, that's why I feel funny that it's really talk shows that caters to celebrity gossip or so-called celebrity gossip where they talk about relationships. It's just like, man, every relationship is different. Every relationship is not the same. You know what I mean? Some people just accept certain shit, bro. And you can't get mad about that. Like, people get mad because somebody else accept. Like, yo, if that's what they accept.
I don't want to say no name, but you know who. Man, I want to say Auntie Barbara. Shit, G.
She accepts certain shit.
She let all that shit ride. But guess what she living in, nigga?
Certain women accept certain shit.
Yeah, she got a little job. She do what she want, but she got her own car.
And you don't know what
big ass fucking house.
You don't know what she do.
What she do? What she done did? She don't care.
You don't know.
That ain't tripping, man. Trust me as far as I can throw.
You think she know all about the cheaters?
Somebody wrote she dead now. Yeah, she is dead, Mo. I know Mo gonna rock with me. She up right now, chilling. I'm sorry for the in and out, Mo.
You think, Barbara? No.
Son.
Go ahead.
Son. Remember, I had the nigga apartment, son.
Yeah,
the nigga used to come over or be like, yo, Skeet, come to the apartment tonight? Because he still had a key.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be in Long Island, I'd be like, you know what, nah, I'm good. Because I know what he calling me for.
Yeah.
Nigga be like on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And it was homeboy wife.
What do you think I'm remembering?
Yeah, she know, nigga. Women ain't stupid.
Yeah.
Nigga, they smell that shit. Even if they don't smell it, they smell her. As much as we think we slick, nigga, nah. Energies and shit change. You know what I mean? Patterns change and shit.
I remember one time he came down to visit me and Pop or whatever. I forgot what it was. He was just visiting. And he walked to the store. He walked to the store with me. And he was on the phone. And I was like listening. He was talking to a girl. He was like, "Yeah, I'm working with my nephew right now. I just want to call you." And I was like, "Oh, that's weird," because he would have just said, "I'm working with Nene." John Barbara. And John Barbara would have said hello. So I was like, oh, he with another bitch. But I'm like,
smooth operator.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Uncle JB fucking around. But I was just shocked.
Yo, bro, you know me. I was a player like a mother. I ain't stopped that shit until recently. Around like that. Had it right. Shorty's making more money than me. You feel me? I was making bread, but she's making more than me. She encouraged the money. That woman, bro, I would fuck with her again. That woman encouraged and motivated me to get to get to where I'm at now in my job, nigga. She was on me. Cause she do this. She in sales. So she helped work with me, train me on how to really, get my shit together and put it all in the focus. And I still need to work on some of it, but she got me with that drive, that initiative. She got me not being scared to go to my boss and be like, no, I deserve this. I made you such and such amount of money. This is my list of accomplishments. I deserve this such and such amount of raise, nigga. That shit work. But she had to, dealing with me, she learned about this pro-black shit. You go on her Instagram right now, nigga, you'll be like, she fucking Tyrone. Yeah. My shit, niggas like, hey, start talking all this pro-black shit. Twitter just found out Beethoven black. I'm like, y'all just now? Okay. Whatever, that rumor's been out here. Yeah.
Why do somebody care if that person is black or white? What is
at this point in time, remember, we don't have no accomplishments. They diminished everything that we do, bro.
Who don't have a accomplishment?
Well, we know we have it, but they diminish everything that we do, bro. Or they steal it. Down to Jesus.
Well, once you figured out that they lying about everything, why would you believe anything they say anyway?
Well, some people need weird. Like, I used to get my rocks off debating them. I don't do it no more. I had the conversation, but why am I arguing with you about racism? Nigga, you know you racist. Nigga, you know you threw a resume in the gut. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, like this. It's like, all right, so you learned that Beethoven was black. What did that change in your life? Instantly.
In fact, what's that nigga named J. Edgar Hoover?
Yeah.
You ever seen his baby pictures?
He was black.
Come on, son.
But
and what did he do?
Yeah,
slay the shit out of niggas.
But I just don't get that about people. It's like, all right, you figured out you figured out that this person, like, okay.
It's like you should have known that
your
soul
rent
was
still need to be paid, right? Okay, thank you. Like, you change that, then you can talk to me. I don't give a fuck if a nigga 1700 was black and now we thought he was white, but now he's black. Give a fuck. I know who I am. I don't need somebody to confirm that black people are geniuses. I know that. I don't need to know that. I don't need nobody in this culture, in this society to confirm who we are. If you know, you know. If you don't know, that's your fault. I don't need you to confirm it for me.
Can't help it.
It's too many stories of excellence from black people to be shocked that that person was black.
The simplest way to put it is remove all black inventions from America right now and tell me how to just remove black inventions from the world.
Yeah.
And let me know how this shit works.
Just
nigga, you be back in the Stone Age.
Just knowing that, you know, like, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's good to tell our kids this stuff because they grow up with.
They need to grow up with that sense of pride.
And
that pride shouldn't be Obama.
It should be Obama.
Well, I know motherfuckers is happy, but that pride ain't no goddamn Obama. He was acting up, so it's probably just one person.
Just answer the question. It was the word.
Maybe getting it in the chat room sometimes. Ignoring the whole conversation, having the whole world of their own. Shit different, bro. I just know, like you said, I want to work on the political shit, but I kind of want to gear it towards kids and shit. And I know the school's out, man. Like, school might be a wrap for a very long time. So it's a matter of reaching them kids and getting them to listen to that podcast or some shit. You know what I mean? At least having it on several forums to where it'll reach them. But, you know, you gotta be a jackass and play some of this young music. I don't know the Young Thug and nigga. I ain't even know who Pop Smoke was when he died. Until I heard, oh, the Welcome to the Party, nigga. Oh, that's him.
And we're from Brooklyn.
I ain't even hear that one. All I heard was Welcome to the Party because Anaya and her mom was in the car singing it like a week or a month before the nigga died. Like, what is it? Oh, it was a new DMX.
No, it's not that. DMX was fire, son.
I had this conversation with him earlier. He was fire until 2003 when he predicted.
Who said that?
DMX said he was gonna be the shit until 2003. And nigga, after that he went downhill, nigga. 2003 was the white cover.
No, I'm saying you was having this conversation
with Mocha.
And she said what?
No, she said he was high. She DMX. I'm like, nah, he went downhill after 2003 when he said he would.
He said that?
He said he would. Bitches gonna see who I'm gonna be by like 2003. And that nigga was the shit in 2003. Nigga, look at the years after that. Nigga was getting locked up, driving with no shit. I was like, damn, that nigga had it bad after 2003. So, they changing tires in the middle of the road right now. Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how you're not tired.
Cool. Nigga, I do this driving shit. So I told you I do this shit over in Florida.
You like this shit, don't you?
Love it. She get my CDL.
Especially you in the Charger too? You really like it.
Bro, if I had a police radar right now, son, we be doing 120s. Because I can handle it.
Right.
I'm good. You forgot Michelle's father was drag racing. Yeah. I know some shit.
Yeah.
You see me put two hands on the wheel, it's about to go down. Yeah. Y'all driving was we was moving her into her new apartment. She went and rented the U-Haul truck. Nigga, I'm whipping the U-Haul truck. She had the side just looking at me. That's the second time her seeing me drive. First time I had a Cadillac truck. Hitting it. Playing Pop's old school mixtape in the car too. Remember that shit nigga used to clean the house too? We was in the car rocking. I picked up from my mom's crib. We went to see the island. We in a cherry red fucking Cadillac truck. So already you can see that I can drive. But nigga, we got the big box truck from U-Haul. I'm whipping that shit with one hand. She was like, yo, what the fuck? I told her I want to drive for home. Niggas is crazy. Oh my God, you know that OG niggas still do the same shit, son. I don't think you know about them. Let me move this shit.
Yeah.
That's what I told her. I was like, I'm driving that nigga.
What you mean by bring
him up?
Where he at?
He Brooklyn.
And he be getting him.
He be getting him, but it ain't them little shits, nigga.
Oh. But he a gangster though.
Yeah, but he need to get him up. You know what he can't get? The little ones. The knives, the hands, and all that. He's a nigga can't get those.
He be the one selling it to people.
Yeah, hold on, we gotta go. But yeah, he can't get them. But other than that,
he can't get them.
Nobody want him.
Oh.
These niggas in the hood on bazooka, son.
Oh, he don't have the big shits that they want.
No, he got the big shits that they want. He ain't got the little shits that regular people want. I would like little shit.
Oh, he got the regular shit.
Choppers, he got the goddamn bazookas and cannons. Who the fuck is putting this on the projects? I know niggas who got them. I came back. Remember when I had the shit I had in North Carolina? I sold that shit, nigga. You remember how much I paid for it? $70. Nigga, that shit didn't even have a motherfucking magazine. So I sold that shit for $250. I go to a party. His cousins. We walk in the backyard. They're like awesome shooting range. I'm like, yes, we just bust the rhymes and all that. So. That's the Goon Squad, Buster.
I ain't know he
be it. Nah, man, he ain't never going away with that shit. The streets is straight on the back. She gonna ride with us. We only got an hour.
I was talking to you, Boogie. He asked what difference has it made after you found out the truth. I don't know what you're talking
I think she's talking about the cheating shit. I don't know. Monica, what you talking about? Oh shit, maybe we can add her to the show. Monica, you busy? You want to hop on? You can talk to us right now. I think I can add you. I'm driving, but I think I can do it. So we go YouTube. You don't get no car. I don't want a car. So she can barely find parking with her car. She live in Harlem. You know it's even worse than that. I don't know if I still in TP. I'd have had a parking spot. Pop down had a parking spot. Yeah, Poppy was parking that shit. I think that shit was for granddaddy shit. Nigga, $400 and some change was the rent, son. And it was locked. Yes. That shit was rent stabilized, son.
What you mean?
They could not raise
they
the
couldn't
rent.
raise the rent.
It's $400-something, bro. That's it. They probably done $500 the most.
That shit was a lot of money back then.
Yeah, that shit was expensive back then. You know what I'm saying? But you look at what they had. It was 3 bedroom. That living room was legit. We both used to be knocked down that motherfucker. Kitchen was alright. But the bedrooms was legit. Bathrooms was legit. Closet space. It's the project. You don't expect no motherfucking Ritz Carlton over there. That shit was crazy. But like I said, I'm glad I lost the motherfucker. But $400. I could have worked on a weekend, one weekend a month, pay that shit. She said, "Go ahead." I think she wanted to join. Let me see.
She said, "Go ahead."
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do it. You see the thing that says contacts and people? Turn it to the side. Back to the side. So now it should have some contacts and people. Little figurehead on the bottom next to settings. All the way down here.
Invite.
Yeah. All right, copy link. To clipboard is copy. Now go to the chat box. Just touch it. Just hold on to the whole shit. Then go. Did it say paste? I must not hit the right thing. Did it say paste?
Yeah.
Paste. I hit send. Anybody can join. She the only one there. So now if she want to hop on, she can ask us this question instead of reading chats because it's driving and reading ain't legit.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
I guess only 3 lanes. So you like this shit. I love these drives through the night, bro.
I think she here.
Oh, yeah. What it say? What it say? Add to screen. Yeah. Momo.
Momo. What's up?
Good. You awake, I see.
Yeah, I'm all the way up.
Oh, my God. You went to sleep early or something?
Yeah.
I figured.
I almost
Sunday,
slept.
it was hot.
What? I almost slept the whole day. I was watching the Netflix, the Black Lives Matter tab.
What, they got a new documentary or something?
No, they got that new tab. That whole Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, man, they ain't got no good movies. I was looking for.
Oh, nah. The Regina King thing was good.
You said the who? The Regina King?
Yeah, I think it's called 7 Seconds.
Oh, I don't know. I'll think about it when I get back home.
That's if I can hold it.
You said if you go, no, you can talk about it. You know me.
I
think I'll be tuned in tomorrow.
It was really good. It was really good. No, I'm not going live tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow.
Are you off tomorrow? You're not doing nothing? Oh man, my morning.
No, I have to go. No, I am doing stuff. I'm going food shopping, everything. I don't want to do it no more on the weekends. There's too many people out there. They got Rona.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Oh yeah, what was the question? I forgot. We wanted to ask you about the question.
You were talking about Beethoven, and then he said, what changed once you found out that new information? Something to that effect. And then you went to say you went to go and do the YouTube shit and start asking him a question. Don't do that.
Because I'm asking him because what changed? I don't know. Like I said initially, I knew Beethoven was black a long time ago.
Right. You knew he was black. And he said to you, what changed once you found that out?
You're right.
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
And then you went and you did the YouTube thing and you started asking him a question. You didn't answer the question. You know, I hate that.
Oh,
I didn't answer the question.
No, I didn't answer the question. So you asked me what changed, but
Oh,
I really got no answer.
It ain't no, I wasn't asking it to him. I'm asking it to
The general.
the Twitter. Like you said, Black Twitter found out that big Twitter. I'm like, all right, you
What
found
changed?
that out. Like, all right, what happens now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we get into these things in this society that really don't matter. That's the trick in this society is we start figuring out information that really don't matter. And I don't mean matter. Like, it's good information to know, but we still living and moving every day. So keep it, move on though. Like it's not a big thing. Like I'm not shocked. Like, you know, to figure out some black person did something great is not a eye-opening thing for me. I'm like, okay, and we're great. Like you should know that by now because you're learning that this is what we do, and they just try to suppress it from us. But I knew that. Like I don't care to know that information. I think that, you know, having, you know, gaining knowledge is fine and everything, but I think sometimes it takes away from the real argument and the real problem, which is building up and working together and, you know what I mean, shit like that. But, you know, knowing, you need to know the information. Don't get it twisted, because, you know, that's a first step, but, you know, it's not going to change our lives if you find out Beethoven is
Oh no, he up.
black.
He up listening to the whole conversation.
It's not gonna change
Stay
me.
in the left
That's
4
just
lanes.
how I feel.
You there? You can hear?
I can hear well. You sounding good.
Most people who spit information like that still be asking people to donate. I have a problem with that. Because if you can find that information out, you can find a way to make money. Like, don't ask me to donate, sell a real legitimate product. Create a product. If you can't create a product, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest problem. We're not creating products. Real products. Not a t-shirt with a saying, you know what I'm saying? Or not create real products that change the world. Like if we can do that, but we need time. One of the things that the culture of black people don't have is time because everybody want it quick. Like, you know, it takes a lot of times to be creative. It takes a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of hungry nights to put all your energy and money into a project. And we're not giving that time to fuck up, you know? So, but create a real product. Don't ask people for donations. If people want to donate, they'll donate, but create a real product first, you know? But that's just me, you know?
Well, it is good to hear a viewpoint from a man that is different from our everyday conversations on YouTube.
Yeah, he ain't a part of that. So that's the good part. He wants to do a political show, which means he's gonna be a part of something different. You know, I kind of weighing down on that ratchetry and going back and forth with people. I still do it, but it's rare. I'd rather get on and have a conversation, some intellectual shit now, you know, as opposed to the BS that's usually going on in our sectors of YouTube. So I'm hoping to do something more productive, but I just haven't been motivated by YouTube and the shit that's going on in society. It's just like, yo, black people need to do something.
No, you haven't been motivated.
Now, like, we need to make moves.
You're not motivated because of who you hang with. They bringing you down. So what you listen to, this goes back to what you listen to, what you watching, everything that you digesting is stuff that's not good for you. So of course you can't be motivated. You got to change your intake.
No, you have a point.
Listen. Can I say something real quick? Oh shit. Oh never mind.
As I said, what the fuck that nigga was out?
Yeah.
Cause I ain't speeding. Well, I was speeding.
Listen, you know, you said something a second ago. You know, you said giving a different perspective from me because I'm not on the YouTube screen or whatever the case may be. I was always on, like, I'm always supporting black media on the YouTube scene and everything. But what I do is I like to study history, and I'm a pattern person, and I feel like we creating the same pattern and we're not getting nothing out of it. I'm not gonna do it no more. So what I mean by that is I seen the likes of most of these guys on YouTube, right? Um, and I'm not trying to call people out, but the guys who we talk to or we follow or we listen to, if you go back 20 years ago, you had people like that, and they was doing the same thing, and we're still fighting for the same thing. So I'm like, all right, they was doing it 20, 30 years ago, even though they didn't have the platform of YouTube, but it's the same thing. Like, yo, we can't keep asking the community for donations, bro. We can't keep when something happened, we can't be the ones saying people ain't doing that, black people ain't doing that, but you ain't pull a trigger yet. So if you want people to get out in the streets and fight, be there. Pull the trigger first. You know what I'm saying? Be Crispus Actors. Be these people that pop off first and start the war. Don't be sitting there edging other people to do it while you asking for donations. It's weird to me. That's weird. That's just what I'm saying.
They asking for donations because they trying to survive. They don't have no meaningful, they don't have no gateway to income. This has become their income. Just, getting up here, chit-chatting or whatever they do. The rest of us are going to work. We're putting in a hard day's work, coming back up here on the YouTube, hoping that, the conversation changes things or invokes thought, a meaningful action.
This is the man who put me on to Umar Johnson. Back when Umar Johnson was actually like sane. You know what I mean? Now it's like, yo, bro, you have so much
10 years ago. But listen,
he became a product of his environment. You understand what I'm saying? He may have been well-intentioned. That's why it's so hard to have this conversation with people down in the South, because they're in a different eco-social environment and they see him as a god. So he's going to come in now and teach them as parents. He's collecting money off of parents now. First, he didn't build a school. Now he's collecting money, trying to teach them how to advocate for student rights. What happened to your building, sir? You built your building with your school in it. We could have had our student rights. I didn't need you to charge me now to teach me how to advocate for my child to get an education.
His plan was simple.
Well, people say, let's build a school, let's build this, let's do black communities, as if black communities or black schools was never existed, right? That's first. Second, this is very harsh what I'm about to say, but it's real, right? We can't start businesses in schools without a war.
What?
Right? You can't start businesses in schools without a war. We have to create freedom first. You can't say, I want to be educated in somebody else's system. You have to create separation, and then you can start the schools and the businesses. You can't be in some. It's no different than what we saying about the Nick Cannon thing. It's the same shit. You can't be pro-black on somebody else's platform. If they don't want it, they don't want it. You can't get mad at that. You see what I'm saying? So the reason what I'm saying is about Dr. Umar's school is like, yo, it's not gonna work. I don't care how much money he get donated to him. Somebody could have wrote him a $20 million check. It wasn't gonna work because
he didn't have the plan. Because, all right, if I wanted to build a school today, all I need is a space and the kids. You start off teaching. We don't even see him doing that much. The building comes around you. It's just a facade. It's something you build around. But you start off with the students and the education. And then people see the product of what you're doing. And then more people want to add their kids to it. When they add their kids to it, they're paying you. You built the building. Or you go in and you write a plan for a charter school and you get the money out of the government for the building, for the thing he wants to build. So what he went and did was buy the building, and now he's just complaining about everything associated with it. It costs this much to do this. All he's trying to do is build something without no foundation. You need the students to have a school. That's why he's a scam.
Nigga, with $500,000, nigga, I'd have bought a little bit of land. Nigga, give me 4 acres. I'd have 5 school buildings over there.
No, I would have been in this apartment schooling. Kids would have came in the daytime. I would have had a whole class.
Cuba. There's a dude named Cuba.
What you saying is 100% correct. You don't need a big building to start something. He could have started with 5 students and built it up himself.
Exactly. We never seen the product.
That's true.
That's what I've been saying all along. When everybody starts with him, I'm like, he never started a school in the first place. He's talking about the building.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. I agree. You could have.
Do you build a store and then you got no products inside the store to sell? You say, hey, I got a big storefront here. It's gonna make some real money one day. I'm gonna be in competition with Walmart. I'm gonna be better than Walmart, but you got no products inside of it.
No, you're right. You're right about that. That's a true point. You know what I mean? He could have easily started with 5 students and showed a product that worked and started to build from there. He didn't need the jump to let me get a building.
Right.
But then, and I'm not taking up for him when I say what I'm about to say. But what I'm saying is you can't judge him in that way because he was thinking it. His plan probably was something he had 20 years ago, and that made sense to him. You know what I'm saying? And he was stuck in that system instead of thinking, let me just create 5, and you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying he's not wrong or right. I'm just saying that. And I'm not saying advocating for Umar or whatever. I'm just saying, he's not a businessman, so you can't judge him. But what you're saying is correct. He should have just said, yo, let me get 5 to 6 black boys and show them what I can do. And then from there, I'll continue growing. And as the process grows, the product show, that's 100%. And I never even thought about it like that. But that's 100% correct, what you just said.
And he went big. He tried to go too big first.
And that's something
all you need is a trailer, man.
I'm telling you, dude.
You can have 2 classrooms in 1 trailer.
That's something.
With a bathroom. With 2 bathrooms. She should still be there if I'm getting alerts.
Nah, but I don't want to give him a pass on. I don't want to give him a pass on this.
I'm not giving him a pass. No, you don't have to give him a pass. I'm not giving him a pass. I always listen. With me, I always look at the other side. You know. No, I always look from the other side point of view. I always give people a benefit of doubt because you really don't know what's going on in somebody's head. You really don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't judge people. I'm not quick to put people because you don't know what's going on in his head. So I'm not saying what you're saying is correct. He should have done it that way. That would have been the best way.
He could still do it that way.
He can still do it that way. You're right.
He ain't down and out, but he's talking about the building. And then he's around. He's the
goons on niggas.
But I haven't paid attention to Dr. Umar or any of them in the last 6-7 years because they still talking about the same shit. So I don't even know why you get what I'm saying? Like, and not even about falling off. It's just like,
them niggas fell off.
I mean,
well, why we
here? Not about falling off. I never thought them niggas was something special. I just thought they was just giving game. That's it. Like I never looked at them as like saviors or heroes and that's another thing people do that make people feel a certain way. You look at somebody as something and then you realize they're not. You get hurt. And you feel like you gotta say, like, bro, I never looked at them like that. I never looked at none of them like that. You know what I mean?
But why we're here on this situation is because he then becomes the image of what we do wrong. And it stands out. So when the next person is trying to build the same thing, they're going to have it much harder because we already had him do this. Yeah. And it's like, if you could have a conversation with the advocates for him and just come to simple things, I think you got a good idea. I think you bit off more than you could chew. Let's revise what you started so we can get some positive results. That conversation doesn't want to be had. So then you have to ask yourself, what was the end game? Sometimes people be up here, they start out well intentioned and get around the wrong people, digesting the wrong information or energy, and we end up with this kind of product.
True. I agree.
I mean, it's
And Nick
you can.
Cannon, he was a fool. He's foolish. He's immature still.
True.
Basically, in all of his thoughts, he was a mentee. He was being schooled. He should have stayed in his lane. He's still got a long way to go.
Well, you can't fault people for gaining knowledge. When they gain knowledge, they feel like,
They wanna
especially
tell everybody.
they want to tell everybody. They want to, what
Nah,
I
I
mean?
did
It feels
that.
good.
I did that.
That's
Ah,
all.
ah, ah. He would step on. He's a wrong. Eh. So listen, Nipsey Hussle dies, right? He
Yeah,
takes on Nipsey Hussle's project.
yeah.
You understand? He was already looked upon, at least in my eyes, as being trifling. This
Cause
what happened to
why?
trifling people because why you had to take on why you had to take on that. He bit off more than he chewed, another person, without even having enough support. And then if you listen to that interview, he's up here talking about when he sat down with the great and they passed the torch to him. I'm sure they did not pass the torch to his ass. They probably said, you coming up in this. I see some growth in you, but ain't nobody passed no torch to
But
him because he ain't put no work in yet.
who he sit down with that passed the torch to him?
Most of them
He
was
said
dead.
he sat down with Dick Gregory, and Dick Gregory passed the torch to him. He mentioned other names, but among Dick Gregory stands out to me.
I like Dick Gregory. Nigga was
Yeah,
he
but
wild.
Dick Gregory ain't give him no torch to pass. Dick Gregory had daughters that he put through, that he put through school. They're great people. He didn't pass no torch to Nick Cannon by having a conversation with him one or twice. When he wasn't even, Nick Cannon was, at that time, he wasn't even nowhere grounded in this stuff.
Is she looking for a leader to lead?
Nah. Nigga, you ever say, you remember earlier we was talking about women being leaders? I would follow her.
Yeah, I'm saying, you personally, did you ever look at Nick Cannon as a leader?
Um, I see growth in him today. He's moving in that direction. He learned a lesson.
Because I'm saying that because I'm not offended by what Nick Cannon do or say because I never looked at him as a leader. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Waking up. He's definitely waking up.
Yeah, but I never looked at him as like somebody I need to follow or whatever the case may be. Because where I'm at, I don't want to be on TV. I don't even want this to be shown. I remember I did your radio show one day, long time ago, and you asked me like, "Yo, what's your name?" And
I still got that.
And
shit.
I was like, "Yo, I don't want that out. I don't want people to know who I am. I don't need people to know who I am." Like when I see little kids, or when I talk to little kids, or when I talk to people privately, I give them enough game, and I say, "Yo, this, that, and the third," and I keep it moving. But a leader gets killed. Most kings get their heads cut off. So
I said that to people.
You know what I'm saying?
No, we don't need a black leader.
We don't need a leader.
You don't need a target.
You don't need a target. Just move in silence. Like, yo, whisper and keep it pushing. Once the word get around, and look, black people just need to do what's right. Like, I'm staying away from whatever the negative shit that was good. Like, if I know the system is got traps in it, why am I still falling for the traps? If I know the system got traps, if I know there's a trap right there, why can't I just go around it and keep moving? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's just me. That's just how I'm living my life now with my knowledge. I'm not taking it and debating with people online about it, because where does it get me? What I'm doing is passing it on to make other young people better. Like, yo, look, you don't have to live like that. You could do it this way. And that's all I can do. I can't force you to do nothing, but I know how I'm living my life, and I know how I'm raising who I need to raise. You feel what I'm saying? Or whoever around me. I'm showing them kindness and peacefulness and compassion, so they and respect, so they, when they're around people, they can show them those kind of qualities. You see what I'm saying? Like this whole conversation that we feel like we gotta express to the. If you dumb enough to think that the world don't know who we are, then you dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna argue. Like, the world know exactly who we are.
I found out if you, when you back in the early shit, when we started this whole shit, I found out that white people know everything.
They know
everything.
They know it all.
They just don't acknowledge.
They just don't acknowledge it. That's everybody though. That's everybody.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole world. They know who we are. We don't know who we are. So we feel it when we find out. We feel like we need to tell people. But they know exactly who we are. It's a fear. Why would I tell you who you are when you can take over? Or I'm going to be irrelevant.
That's what was Nick Cannon's problem.
That was his problem. That's most of our problems. Not just Nick Cannon.
No, but
that's most of the people's problem. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
It was his problem for right now, because he's the one who woke up without a Viacom job. He gave all of that, everything that you're stating is what he gave away in that one interview on Cannon Class in the public.
Yeah, we gotta
he
stop
talked
looking.
About the fear. He talked about all of that is what he included. Instead of doing his interview, he came out with all of his statements, all the profound things that he learned about.
Yeah. There's no need to express this to many people or to outside people. You can have a decent conversation with somebody without being disrespectful about things or saying things in a disrespectful way, right? You can have a decent conversation on the airways without you know what I mean, making somebody feel a certain way. But Nick had a battery in his back.
Professor Griff sitting in front of him too.
He had a battery in his back. He was an interview with Professor Griff. Yeah, he had a battery in his back. You know what I'm saying?
No, so you didn't see the interview. You have to.
I don't really pay attention to stuff.
All right.
When I say I live my life like that, I'm serious. Like, I really don't. I live my life how I meet people. That's how I change people's lives. I don't go on the internet and when I meet people, you meet me, I'm this person for real. I'm this kind.
He was very cocky.
Huh?
Nick Cannon was very cocky at that point. He was very assertive, not overly aggressive, and he didn't have. I didn't take it as if he had a battery in his back as somebody. I think honestly, I got the opinion that Professor Griff was shocked that he was even going there. So both.
Griff know better.
Griff went there already and got
right.
He knew.
But what he didn't do was stop him, and that's what he should have done, having already been there. So we're talking about somebody that been there, done that, and knows the consequences of it. He took no ownership of. He took no leadership role there, as if he was going to guide him. So it's the worst person. It's the worst interview to lose your job over. When you believe that you could have been such a you could have used that as a vessel to get your message out. Even though I don't think that this is his last opportunity to get his message out, because I'm sure if his brand is as big as he thinks he is, he can still do that on another level if he chooses to.
Well, let me ask you a question. What Nick Cannon said, was he wrong in what he said in any way? Was it facts or was it fiction.
Nobody's pointing out any lie.
I'm just asking.
No, it wasn't. No, his statements were accurate. What he
Okay.
got accused of in the mainstream media was taken out of context and supplanted to match
Which
their
which is
narrative. Mhm.
which is again a trap in a system that we could avoid or we should avoid.
Right, and then he came out, and if you listen to his apology, he apologized for their uh perception of what he said. He apologized for the impact his statement had on the folks, but not for what he said. And I thought that was appropriate for the situation.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just feel like if he said what he said, and it had
He
truth,
said what he said. He said what they said he said, but not in the context
not in the
that
context that he said it.
right.
Okay.
Not in the context that they presented it in.
But again, like I said,
Their system, their rules.
it's their system. We should know
Correct.
the traps. We should know the traps are. Listen. We've been it. I have always said this. I blame us for not knowing the traps of the system. Right? If the system says, yo, you can't have marijuana or drugs or whatever, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it. You feel what I'm saying? And then if
For
I
one,
do it and I get caught, I gotta be accountable. Like, yo, the system says you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't act like this shit is not here. Like, yo, this
when
shit been going
some
on.
folks believe that they are in the system, they believe that the same. They
Some people
forget.
think they're in the system.
Yeah,
Well,
like they
they'll figure out.
like
He
when
figured out
he
the
felt
he figured
right.
out the
He
wrong way.
right, but
You
he
gonna learn
felt
today.
that
You learn today.
right. That's what happened. That's why I said it was a good lesson if he continues to in his path. It'll just be one of those moments. He'll
Put that
say,
shit on African
"This when I
TV,
mess,
not American.
I got smacked."
Well, he got embarrassed. He got embarrassed, and he got. First of all, I'm not apologizing. I wouldn't apologize. If you already fired me, I'm not apologizing. That's just me. But he got embarrassed. I feel like what the apology is more embarrassing than
That's what
what you
everybody's
said.
telling him.
The
That's
apology
Yeah.
is because he's apologizing to the folks he's in with. That's why he believes he's in. He for the first time he sees himself as an outsider. He sees his. We have a generation. I call it the charmed generation. The charmed ones because they believe that they are trisexuals. They trying anybody's sex, and then beyond that, they are blind to color. So they believe that they're in there with them. They see
So that's
themselves.
who's offended.
The little kid, the young
That's
Yeah.
who's offended. Oh,
And that's who we apologize to because those are his friends. Most of his friends is
Listen.
not going to look like him. They're going to be diverse. So he
I
was
got you. I see.
apologizing to diversity because he
I
believes he
get you.
belonged to diversity.
But listen. Let me explain something to you about that group of people, right? And it's gonna sound harsh what I'm about to say, but it's the truth because we all been through that. Them people don't know what they want. They haven't lived long enough to know what they want, and it's the truth. That I'm sorry to say that, but you think you know. You really don't know right now.
10 miles.
So he's apologizing to a bunch of people who in 5 to 10 years, they're going to be believing in something different.
A whole new wave
of shit going on.
They ain't gonna
You just apologizing for the moment. You're not apologizing to a people. You apologizing because the moment in the culture we're in right now.
In that apology, you bring black people back down. A sense to saying,
if you
fire
me, I'm not apologizing. I said what I said.
The truth is the truth, man. All the white folks
if it's
know.
the truth,
listen, I'll just show them genetic evidence. Like if you say, listen, you got evidence that says 4%, Europeans have 4% Neanderthal blood. That's fact. That's evidence, right? And you find facts and evidence evidence that Neanderthal and Homo sapiens sapiens had sex in caves in Israel. Facts. These things are found. Bones are right there. This shit. Use facts when you come to these people. You know these cave beasts crawled out the caves. That shit. Them niggas know they crawled out of fucking caves.
Yes, but he didn't call the cave. He didn't call the savages the Jews. So that's basically where this is where the difference went, and you know that's not what he said. So to even try to justify the historical point didn't make any sense. Again, I believe he apologized to diversity, the people around him. He apologized to the people he hurt, the people that made him the Nick Cannon brand.
Yeah, but let me ask you something real quick. No disrespect, but do you have a mentally challenged individual in your household, or that you have related to, or you have contact with? Not contact with, but you met somebody who was mentally challenged, right?
Excessively, like level 5 mentally challenged, not low level.
You have met somebody like that before, right? What's her name? Monica.
No, I'm. You know, I don't like questions like this, but go ahead.
No, I'm just saying.
Just go to your.
No, because you're asking me a question to make a point, and I don't like those kind of questions.
Okay, well, what I'm trying to say is about the Nick Cannon. It's not about you. It's about the Nick Cannon thing, and about.
But you're asking me a question about me.
No. I'm just saying, have you ever encountered?
Just ask the same question you asked me.
Okay.
Would you argue with her?
Would you argue with a person you know who is mentally retarded? You wouldn't have a full-on argument with that person, would you? Because you know something is wrong with them, right? Huh?
Okay. I'm going to say yes, but I'm going to say these are not good questions. These are not good questions for me. I'm not a person that you need to make a point through my answers. You just need to make your point.
No, what I'm saying is I wouldn't argue with the mentally retarded person because I know something is wrong with them. So by knowing something is wrong with them, like I'm not trying to spit facts to somebody who is mentally retarded. So our biggest problem is we keep trying to spit facts to people who there's something wrong with them. So they're not gonna get what we're trying to say because something is wrong with them. That's what I was trying to say. We go backwards trying to have a conversation with these people. That's what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm trying to say now?
So Nick Cannon's, by that statement, what you're saying is Nick Cannon's audience is mentally retarded?
No, I'm not saying his audience. I'm saying when we try to have these.
But if he's spitting facts to somebody, what you just said is, I wouldn't spit facts to someone who is mentally retarded.
Yes, but I'm not saying his audience. I'm not talking about he's not when he's spitting these conversations, when he's spitting these having these facts battles. He's not talking. He's in his conversation. What he's saying, he's trying to say that to the people who come from caves. And he's trying to explain to them, yo, you this, that, and the third. But you can't do that to somebody who is something wrong.
So if he's trying to explain to somebody, would that somebody be his audience?
It could be.
And a wider range of people. So with that show, he's trying to reach. What the fuck is that? With that show, he's trying to reach.
I don't know his audience.
I don't know who his audience. I don't know who his audience was, because honestly, I wouldn't have been checking for that interview until it became an issue.
An issue to the world. But what I'm talking, I'm not just talking about Nick Cannon.
So I wasn't his audience.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not just talking about Nick Cannon. I'm talking about all of us who have these conversations and debates with these people. These people, is something wrong with them. There's something wrong with them. You haven't figured that out by now? That's what I'm saying. It's something wrong with them. So you can't have a conversation with somebody who's not there. You're fight. That's why we look like we keep doing this. Go back 30 years ago. Go back 100 years ago. You think it wasn't a Nick Cannon before? It was. Marcus Garvey been doing this. Like, they've been saying this. We keep having the same conversation over and over and over, and we wonder why we keep ending up in the same brick wall. Something is wrong with these people we're trying to talk to. Leave them alone. Stop bothering them. Stop talking to them. You get your money and you move the fuck on. But we keep going, no, they need to know. They don't need to know. Something is wrong with them. It's our fault. We keep trying to have an argument or a conversation with somebody who can't have a conversation.
How about that?
It's the truth. Check history. How you hate somebody for 400 years? That's not even possible. You can kill my mother, die, we could come back, I will forgive you. 400 years, you still have it's something wrong with you, not me. We have to leave these people alone. We keep trying to spit facts to these people. Facts will not change these people. We tried that already. Education will not change the way these people look at us. We tried that already. Getting a good job, becoming an athlete, becoming a movie star. It's not going to change how these people look at us. Leave them alone. Get the fuck out the way.
Get your own shit.
Move. Leave them alone. Stop arguing with these people. Stop talking to these people. Leave. Bye. All right. You good. Yeah, you right. And walk away. Y'all be trying to have debates with them. No. No, I'm not having a debate with you. You're retarded. I see that now. Okay, you good. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. I'm not just talking about Nick Cannon. I'm talking about all of us. We all do that. We think we feel good about our knowledge and we can get them. Yeah, them niggas gonna look at you like you stupid. Like, they fucking retarded, bro. Leave these people and let these people be, man. That's all I'm saying. Let them be.
It'll be like that Susan Westwood. I'm going back to my $100,000 an hour job. Oh.
It's wild shit, bro. That's all I'm saying. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, I don't think she meant it.
No, don't apologize. I mean,
you gotta have passion when we talk about this shit, but
passion for what? I don't have the strength to fight Nick Cannon's battle. I don't even see him as my messenger. So at the end of the day, I'm only talking about the behavior that got him in trouble. So he's speaking, I'm taking in his conversation as him being the person in the car with you. I'm taking in his conversation as a different viewpoint on the behavior. No, I'm just taking that in.
Yep. Okay.
That's my brother.
Oh, that's your brother?
Yeah.
I missed that part. I didn't start the ride with y'all.
Yeah, I don't even know how long we've been on this.
We didn't even announce it, but whatever. That's just how I feel. How everybody feel. I'm not the type of person to knock how somebody feel. But if you ask me, I'm gonna just tell you how I feel. Like, yo, I'm not arguing with these people. When I see them, I walk the other way. It's just that. I don't give them opportunity.
So if his audience was the white folks,
I'm not talking about
well, the non-melanated folks, then he absolutely needed to apologize to them.
But that is his audience. I mean, where did he come from? Nickelodeon?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the first question was, did you see him as a leader? And I want to go back to that and continue with no, I didn't see him as a leader, but it doesn't mean that he can't become a leader. We're all leaders in our own rights, right? Then it came with, I don't want to be a leader because the leaders get killed, right? You got to stand for something. And people lead different ways. You understand? Leaders normally have a strength that the followers don't have, and it's for a period of time to get to the next phase. So leaders change. It shouldn't be. It's no one specific person is the leader, but there are many leaders in the movement. But you have to have the movement has to be equipped with. You got to know your audience.
I
So
feel
if you're in the movement and your audience is trying to convince the enemy that they are the wrong, then you're in the wrong movement at this point.
I just think we're in the wrong system. We ain't gonna be allowed to do what we know we can and what we should do in this system. It's stacked against us. Like with the leader situation, we know that when we have leadership, they become targets. And that's right. Like right now, we're not in a position to have leadership because once that target is taken out, everybody buckles and folds.
We don't have organization. So with a lack of organization, there's no leadership.
Use the right lane
Period.
to take exit
Like
1
that's why
and
there are many
right 40
leaders
west
in
toward
the movement as
I-75
it stands right now, because you see how we are scattered is the best term I could use it, because there's lack of organization.
I don't need a leader to do right by my people. I'm gonna just do
It's
right by my
it's
people.
not, but again, you don't need a leader.
Use the right lane to take exit
I'm
2.
gonna pick
Merge
my
onto
battles wisely.
north toward Danville.
It's just me. I don't need somebody to tell me to live right, do right.
No one's gonna tell you to live right, do right. The leader part of it, right, is the person that is is in the forefront negotiating the terms of the New Deal. There's somebody up there doing that. They're not going to entertain 50,000 people coming to tell them to do that. The numbers, the mass numbers that are in agreement are the ones that are going to execute the plan. But somebody goes to somebody and sits down and negotiates it.
So you,
I guess you're gonna need a figurehead.
In 6 miles.
You don't need a figurehead. Well,
Yeah.
not having a figurehead right now is the reason why there's chaos.
no,
But there are figureheads. There are various figureheads. The problem is that all the figureheads haven't come together to make one plan. That's why there's various leaders, because you got different people coming in from different perspectives and different experiences. At this point, we got generational differences. We've got, what was it, a couple years ago we had a whole generation talking about they didn't even believe that slavery, not even the slavery part, they didn't believe that the civil rights movement was a civil rights movement.
We got some long learning to do, and it ain't. I keep telling people it ain't gonna be our generation. The
No,
Bible is
it's
very
not going to
specific
be.
that we gonna have to die in this wilderness, and the kids gonna have to move on without us. With a whole new plan, and they can't take nothing of Egypt with them, meaning nothing of Babylon, meaning none of this American shit.
I don't know, I was in the fish market, I was in the fish market on Saturday, and I saw a whole man, big brolic whole man, up in there switching and doing his. I said, "This, I'm gonna have to stop coming in here." The man said to me in the fish market, he said, "Why?" I said, "I'm starting to think that your fish is doing something to the people."
We had this conversation earlier, where before I hit record, about these grown sissies and why there's so many sissies
He had,
in our
yo,
community.
he had on poom poom shorts and everything with the tear outs. I was like, oh, I need to start documenting this shit, because this is just tore up from the floor. But everything, even with like the hair under his arm, everything about him is masculine, and he want to be standing there with the bag crossed across him, a Michael Kors bag crossbody. I said, you know what? And then he gonna say, "You've been staring at me. Do you like what you see?" I said, "I'm trying to figure out what it is. You want to tell me?"
So, Monica, my question is, do you think he is that way because you said he was masculine, but he was twitching around. Do you think
No,
he's
no,
that
he's
way?
masculine in he can't change his, well, he can, but this one couldn't change. You understand? Everything about him is a man. I know you a man, sir. You a man. Okay?
The-
But
Would that
everything
type of
else,
would that type of man threaten a white cop or a white man? Is that a threat? Was he threatening?
he was comical to me.
He wasn't
He
threatening.
wasn't
I was
threatening.
just I never like you know what?
In 2
You know the
miles,
weird
take
part
exit
about it is
onto US
all
10
these conversations
Road.
we've been having, I don't really see them. You know, I don't see the transformation. That one I saw, and I was just like, this is crazy right here.
So have you heard about trans black women, getting higher ranking and position than regular black women?
Trans. All right, wait a second. Let me get that
So
together. Trans. Okay, so
trans black women, meaning black men who
okay,
got the SNP, have more
all right,
rights now.
but they're
And
physically, so they physically went through the change, or they're just in the drag. Because you know
both.
we went through phases now.
Yeah, no. So I'm talking about, halfway or whatever.
They in
They
the trans.
consider
They done
themselves
trans. All right,
trans.
so that's why you call them trans, because they done transitioned. Okay.
Yeah, they trans. Even if they still have their tools, they're taking pills or whatever, they consider themselves a woman,
Okay.
right? I nearly lost my thought. My thing earlier was, who do we blame for this behavior inside our community, and who do we blame for making it acceptable?
Why are we blaming the community for that?
Because it's
We
our community.
No, our community didn't do that. That's where we have to start calling it what it is. When they put together
Take exit 14BA
when they
Greensboro.
this is a product of desegregation.
Oh, whoa! You know what? There you go.
The product of desegregation.
Yeah, taking this back.
Well, the problem is right now we have a subset that wants to go back to segregation. And now it's unconstitutional to do that.
That's not true.
And we're living with, well, when you do engage in it, then
It's
they
unconstitutional to acknowledge it outside the realms of certain special entities or groups, kind of like yeshivas. You can't send tea to a yeshiva, can you?
no, I can't send tea into a mosque either.
It's called segregation, unless
Right,
outside
but
the confines of certain
but you're
rules.
talking right now, you're talking about religion, and religion is separated. So give me an example of it not being a religious base.
I can't, but some of that's an
Okay,
excuse.
so so that's religion is a separate entity, but show me something right now. You have folks suing over that whole the whole transgender thing, saying you can't discriminate against me. This is what they just won in Supreme Court. You can't discriminate against me because of sex, right? But they were trying to get it to be elevated to something else. And the bottom line is this was sex. So the Supreme Court ruled we already have a law for that. You've already protected under sexism. You're already protected under that. Y'all want to call it something else. We're not going to acknowledge that because what it is sex. And we have a thing against sex discrimination, and you fall in that category. But you cannot do, I mean, but people want to be segregated.
Does she want to be segregated?
I don't know. No, you want to be
Why?
segregated? I know I want to be segregated. You want to be
I
segregated?
want to be segregated. I'm ready.
Get the hell away from these crazy people.
So getting away from him is the best plan. Getting out. Got to go.
Getting away.
No, it's not
there,
getting.
right?
It's not.
It's time to go.
It's time to go. We can't be. Listen, we got to be honest. We can't be in their culture together.
At the light, take
We're different people.
left turn onto Summit Avenue.
We're just different people. Our culture, the way we like and handle and deal with people, we're not gonna go to another country and destabilize the entire fucking government because we want their oil and like we're not. That ain't us.
In half a mile,
Look how you began this. We're saying we're the creators of this. We're the builders of this, right?
And the teachers.
Why? Yeah. Why would we want to be integrated?
What the fuck is this shit?
See, the reason why they fought so hard for the civil rights was because they wanted to be included. They wanted inclusiveness. They wanted to be included. And they were seeing themselves as being excluded, but they wasn't seeing the value of their exclusion
at the light,
because they were
turn
looking
onto
across and they were saying the grass is greener on the other side. No, the opportunity wasn't being equally spread. We could have stayed segregated with the same opportunity. We would have been what they're afraid of. It would have put them in extinction because that would have been their financial extinction.
True.
Their survival is the
In
supremacy.
half a mile, turn left onto Lee.
The moment they give
what?
up,
Say that part again.
their survival is the supremacy.
Oh yeah. You're right.
And that's what Nick Cannon was talking about all inside of his speech. And that scared them because the time is not now for that. When they see that many of their people have now crossed over and started walking around here talking about, Black Lives Matter.
True.
You don't need.
True.
So if their audience, I'm just bringing it back to what you said. If their audience is those folks, then he was being a good messenger at the time because he was addressing the audience. So a member of the audience had to be like, wait a minute, stop. This was bigotry. This was anti-me, anti-you. This is not what it is. And that's how that blew up into what it was. So I disagree with you when you say the person is in the wrong. Like he was doing, he was in his season and he accomplished what he did for his season. I don't know what his longevity is after this, but this was the season. He did what he was supposed to do. If he was somebody's sacrificial lamb, he was it for that mission. Some people have heard his message out of that group.
What he did won't be remembered next month.
No.
In 1 mile, turn right onto Yanceyville Road.
What he did won't be remembered next week. To whom?
To media.
Media don't matter to me.
Well, I mean social media. This whole black.
Right, no, but
I don't believe it. I believe by next month it won't matter to nobody. I believe something will come up and take the tension away, or whatever the case may be.
Or the stimulus check.
Yeah, like that's just me. But
Well, no, because the whole message didn't get out there. Only that little piece of his hate. You understand what was dubbed to be hate. You had to go search for. You have to be inquisitive and go search for it to hear it in its entirety. Everyone's not interested in hearing it in its entirety.
Let's say that.
But for those who may have been at the room at the time, because I don't know who Cannon Class is.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? I ain't even trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
It's his career. It's not like he's not paid, and if he's wise, he has some good investments.
And look who kept him on. How does Fox keep him on the other side of town? They're not gonna let him spill that over there. So the bottom line is, what he set people back was he was unscripted for that medium that he was on. Moving forward, he will only be scripted.
Which he ain't got no choice now.
Yeah, that's it. So that's how he gets stifled. He had broke, some of the barriers. Because he was, this lets us know he was unscripted because of their response.
Just wave it. Go up to the. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Mo. You know, we made it to our destination.
I'm glad to hear that.
Right there, man.
You be safe out there.
Yeah.
Is it still 2:47 a.m. for you?
Yeah. It's still 2:47.
All right, so you ain't going a different time zone.
No. We're in North Carolina.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that was a quick trip. What time you left?
I don't know. It was a little after 6. I had to pick my son up first. He in the back seat.
Oh. You got me talking crap with the baby in the back?
My son is a grown
Well,
man.
he's not a baby.
Grown man. He got
I was
2
about to
hairs on
say.
his chest.
I was about to say that he's not a baby. But you know what I'm saying. Anyway,
Yeah.
well, I'm glad you made it there safely.
Yeah, we rocking now. I don't know when I'm coming back home, but it should be in the next few days.
All right, well, I guess you'll be on the phone or on the YouTube on your way driving back too.
Yeah. I don't know how much I'm gonna be because I got my son with me, so I ain't gonna be too crazy.
Okay, good. All right, I'll speak to you later.
All right, love. Enjoy your night, and I hope to see you in the morning. I should be up soon.
All right, later.
All right, bye. And bro.